and Saturdays, but it is now later. So we are live on YouTube. Let me just make sure that the sound is still working. Testing, testing, testing. If you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, we're going to look at the Fear and Greed Index. We're going to look at everything. And because I'm going live later, maybe that's also why the views are going down. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Bitcoin is looking more bullish to me above that weekly support at 65,500. So that's a really good sign. But yeah, so we are going to get started here momentarily. Technically, I go live at 11, so I'm going to just take a chill pill. I do need to get some music going. Bitcoin Fear Greed Index right now is sitting at 71 in greed. Let me see if I can find some music to get this going. Let me see if I like this. So yeah, we're in greed right now. So it's just something to be cautious about. Until we're in extreme greed, I wouldn't be worried. And the next update is in about 20 hours and 7 minutes. So nothing to, I wouldn't be too worried about it. All right, we're going to really get started here in about 30 seconds. I'm just setting some other things up on my phone, on TikTok, and then we'll get started. I was in a trade earlier on BCH. That didn't really... I think I'm still in the trade. My stop loss is technically $508. So I still believe that I am still in the trade, but we'll see what happens with that. It doesn't look very promising at this point. The higher time frames look really bullish to me. I could just move my stop loss down lower and just see what happens. The 3-day looks really ready as well. But let's get going on TikTok and let's start. Let's start there. So, Fear and Greed Index very quickly. We are sitting at 71 in greed. We already talked about that. Let's go over and look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is above this weekly support at 70 or 6. Wait, hold on. The weekly support and resistance was 65.5. I'm just gonna record this really quick, and okay. This music isn't gonna work. So we're gonna look at Bitcoin right now. The weekly support is $65,500. We're above that. So really the next target I see for Bitcoin to go up to is $71,377. We'll see what happens, but that is the next weekly resistance. If you look above that, you're looking at 73,000 basically, and then above that, well, that's basically the all-time highs. But then my measure move out of this falling wedge here, or bull pennant, whatever you want to call it, on Bitcoin would take you up to $88,222. And I get that from taking the last local high to the last local low. And really, let me just make sure that that's accurate. So my measure move is, okay, maybe it's more like 87.7, but either way, it's close to $88,000 is the next measure move on Bitcoin on the daily time frame. The daily time frame is getting closer to being overbought. It still has a little more room to go on the stock RSI, but the 2-day looks really good to me on Bitcoin, and the 3-day looks really good to me on Bitcoin. The weekly is almost oversold as well, so I like what I'm seeing on Bitcoin on the daily time frame. And if you stay above that weekly support at 65,500, I do see more upside coming for Bitcoin. If you lose that level, then the bearish scenario is that you fall back down to the next massive support, which is at $60,491. And below that, you're looking at a massive move to the 57.1 area. And that's kind of what I'd be watching out for on Bitcoin. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. And that's just, if Bitcoin stays above 65.5, I expect altcoins to do well, to do good as well. So that's kind of what I would be watching out for on Bitcoin as far as that goes. But yeah, so, and the smaller time frames on Bitcoin, I suppose, like the 8-hour chart, it's overbought, and the 4-hour chart are overbought as well. And you're trying to get back above the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, which is at 67,200. If you can do that, then I really could see a move quickly to 71,365. But overall, that's really the price you have to beat on the smaller time frames. Would be that 200 moving average, which is at 67.2, 67.3 area. So it looks like you did touch that or got close to it. You just have to get above that. And then if you can do that, the next place I'd be looking for would be the 200-day moving average, which you're already above it on the 8-hour. So that's a really good sign. Really, I think Bitcoin is really bullish here if you get above the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour time frame, which is currently sitting at 67.3. So that's what I'm looking at. If you get above that, then I'll be targeting 71,365. We'll see what happens. I'm bullish on Bitcoin right now, above 65.5. If you stay above that, that's all you need to know. If you guys enjoy this, appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate if you guys hit the follow and the like on TikTok. I know I'm shadow banned on TikTok, so I know that's why the views aren't doing very well. Because when I post videos, I only get like 20 views. That's just ridiculous. So, anyways, if you guys have requests for altcoins on TikTok or on YouTube, let me know in the comment section below, and I will look at them. Render was a coin that I'm watching. It looked really bearish to me, but then you got back above the support and resistance level of $8.75. So now really $8.75 is going to act as resistance. You also got a bounce off of $8.75 earlier today on Render, so it's likely that this gets another move to the upside. Thank you for the follow. I'm going to just do something really quick on here. So, yeah, as long as you can stay above $8.75 on Render, I'm looking for a move to the 970 area, and it looks like you got close to it. You put in a slightly higher high than the previous one back on the 15th of April, about a week ago. So really, you're looking good to me on Render. Now the new local high is 956. If you break that, 972 is very likely. But then above 972, your next target is $11.22. So that's what I'd be looking out for on Render coin. It's just something to do. Let's try this music actually. Another trade that I would be looking at for the longer term would be BCH, Bitcoin Cash. You know, the 3-day chart looks really good to me and looking like we could get a bounce here. So I am in a trade on BCH. The 2-day same thing, and the daily has a lot of gas as well on the stock RSI. So really, I see more upside here on BCH. The 12-hour chart, smaller time frames are getting cooked and probably need a short-term pullback, but like longer term, in a week or more, 1 to 2 weeks, I'd be pretty surprised here if BCH is lower than where we are right now. Now, as long as BCH stays above $445, I see a lot more upside incoming. Also, it's looking like to me, at least on the 6-hour chart, that you're breaking out of this falling wedge here with the measure move at $575. We'll see what happens. Anything is possible. Like I said, I'm in the trade right now. If I go to the 4-hour chart, really, as long as you stay above this last local low there at 492, it's likely that BCH does go and continue to the upside. So if you stay above 492, it's likely BCH sees 574. We'll see what happens, but that's kind of what I'm looking at on BCH. So, yeah. We're also live on YouTube if you guys want to go check us out there. You guys can see the entire screen. So that's really the trade I'm in on BCH. I have a stop loss at 508, but really I should probably move that down to 492. Because I believe if you stay above 492, you're going to see more upside. Short term, we could easily go below 508. But BCH looks good to me on the 6-hour time frame, and the daily and the higher time frames look good to me as well. Thank you for the likes. And if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and I will look at them. Thank you for the follow, Besto, Friendo, and appreciate it. So that is kind of what I'm looking at. I think I had something else I want to look at. Oracle looks really good to me, like on the weekly. The weekly time frame on Oracle ORCA. This one is not on MEXC, I don't think, but it is on Coinbase, so you can. So this would be like one long term to invest in, or just swing trade it and buy it on Coinbase. But the weekly chart is oversold on the stock RSI, so I'm gonna just record this really quick for a video. So just give me a second to do that really quickly. So Orca looks really good to me on the weekly time frame. This is one you can only buy on Coinbase. I don't believe it's on MEXC. Let me just kind of reset my drawings here and just start at this from scratch. So each candle is 1 week, but this looks really good to me. The stock RSI right now is just getting started. Also, on the weekly time frame, I'd see this in a massive, massive falling wedge. And yes, this probably will play out to the upside, especially in the bull run. So the measure move on this is up to that $12 area, which would be a new all-time high, at least on the Coinbase chart for Orca. You have obviously strong resistance at that previous all-time high, and you're trying to now to confirm that as a local low at that $2 region. But Below that, you're looking at more support at 30 cents. This is just on the weekly time frame, and I also see more support at that $1.50 region. If I go to the 3-day time frame, each candle is 3 days. This looks like an even better falling wedge. Still looks beautiful. You want to get it back above the 21-day moving average on the 3-day time frame, but it looks good to me on the longer term. 2 days, same thing. 2 days kind of getting overbought quickly, so you could make it one more lower high, but then you would hopefully hope for the bounce after you got oversold again. The daily is looking bad right now, so maybe this is something you hold long term, but you just wait for the daily to come down, because it looks like you're probably going to get rejected to make a lower high here, and then you could buy on the next dip. But not financial advice. Again, this is something I would just DCA into, because I think long term this would do pretty well. We'll see what happens, but Orca right now really looks good to me on the weekly time frame. The smaller time frames like the daily, not so much maybe, but so these are the this is like the next resistance levels on the daily. If you break out here, the next resistance is $6. Above that, you're looking at $7.70, and above that, $9.13. But you have massive support at that $2 region. This is a pretty volatile coin, considering the fact it was just at $12 in December of last year, and now it's back at $2. So it's something you could definitely swing trade and make some good money on, but high risk, high reward. I'll leave it at that. If you stay above $2, your next target is $6. And if you guys enjoyed this quick update, appreciate it if you hit the like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Also, if you guys have requests for other, always let me know in the comment section below. Also, we have a Discord and Telegram if you guys want to check that out. Link to join that is in the description below. So, Orca looks decent to me. We'll see what happens. I don't know what's going on. We got 3 people watching, kind of depressing. But that's kind of what I'm looking at for Orca. So that would just be a longer term idea. I will post this to my trading group. Definitely shadow banned on TikTok. It's kind of unfortunate. I don't know if I should just keep posting on here or if I should make a new account or what I should do. But, when you get 50 people watching and 3 people watching in your live, it's kind of not even worth my time. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. But Orca looks good to me on the weekly time frame. And I'll just leave it at that. We'll see what happens. I'll leave I have this now. Wait, I'm looking at BCH. Orca looks good to me. Measure move up to $12. Probably going to take 3 to 6 months to play out, but we'll see what happens. It was just at $9 in December of last year, so, about 5 months ago, it was at, $9. So really, it went from $9 to $2 in 5 months. There's no reason, in my opinion, it can't get a bounce just as fast, if not quicker, back to that $9 to $12 region on Orca. Yeah, that's what I'd be watching out for on Orca right now. If you guys have requests for other altcoins, let me know in the comment section below, and we will look at them. But, wow. I mean, I don't know. If you guys have other requests, we can look at them. Another one, Bohm is something I wouldn't really touch at this point. Tesla really is struggling, and I don't know what's going on, but something probably pretty bearish as far as news is going to happen, because I believe that whenever you see a bearish chart, that means that there's going to be news incoming that something bearish is happening. It just show me the charts and I'll tell you the news. It's likely that Tesla revisits this $100 region right now, unless you get back above $150. So I believe there's going to be some bearish Tesla news incoming in the next few days or something, or next few weeks, because this chart looks really, really bad to me. Who knows? But that's just something I'd watch out for. If you are interested in the stock market, that's something I would be watching out for. But that's just something I would look for. So, I don't know. I'm not really sure what to do about this TikTok thing. I might just start a new channel and see what happens. It can't hurt at this point. Yeah, that's kind of what I got for my live stream today. I don't have any more updates. If there's no requests, I don't have any more updates. I guess we could look at Jasmine. I haven't looked at Jasmine in a while, and it used to be a pretty good performer. And now it's kind of struggling. So I guess that's one more we can look at really quickly. Testing. People used to love this Jasmine on my channel. So let's look at Jasmine really quick. Jasmine on the weekly. I haven't looked at this in like 2 weeks, but the weekly is making a higher low. And really, to me, it looks like it's trying to make a bull pennant here. Let me look at the 3-day. 3-day is looking good as well. If I just... let me pull up Jasmine on another chart, like the Coinbase chart, and then I can kind of start from scratch. That's where we have it. Then I'll use the Jasmine USD chart on Binance, I guess. I'll use Binance. So to me, this looks like a bull pennant on Jasmine forming, which is a really good sign. These usually break out to the upside 68% of the time, and you take it from the last local high to the last local major low, if I can talk. And that gives you a really nice measured move all the way up to just above 4 cents on Jasmine. So really the measured move is 4.3 on Jasmine. So if you can break out here, that'd be a really good sign. So Jasmine is something I'd watch for the longer term as well. It looks like Jasmine could really get a move up to 4.3 cents. And Jasmine, you know, is a pretty well-known coin. It's been around the space for quite some time. So I would watch Jasmine for a possible breakout here over the next several months. I kind of like this trade setup a lot, so I will post this to my trading group. But Jasmine does look good, in my opinion. By the way, like I said, we do have a trading group if you guys want to join. Link to join that is in the description below. But yeah, that's all I got. If you guys enjoyed this update, appreciate it if you hit the like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next one. By the way, we're live Mondays and Saturdays, 11 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, Des, for the gifts. I desperately need them right now. The rose looks so good. I'll give it to my girlfriend. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I'm definitely shadow banned on TikTok. I don't know what's going on, but appreciate people for coming in here and helping, you know. But, so, that is Jasmine for you in a nutshell. It does look good to me for another move to the upside. Where is it at? So if you guys have requests for altcoins, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you for the 30 roses. Wow. Appreciate it. Wow. 24 roses. Appreciate it. So anyways, let me know if you guys have requests for altcoins, and then we'll go from there. And someone is watching on YouTube, but it doesn't show it. I'm not sure what's up with that, because it says there is watch time there, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. If you guys are just joining, I will give you guys another update on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin can stay above $65,500, which is the weekly support on Bitcoin, I do see more upside on Bitcoin up to the next resistance, which is 71,365. Above that, you're basically looking at 72.7 for the next resistance, 72.8. And then above that, it's basically new all-time highs. I have a measured move out of this falling wedge bull pennant, whatever you want to call it, up to about $87,700. So I believe Bitcoin is going to that level if Bitcoin can stay above $65,500. We'll see what happens. Anything's possible. But it's likely Bitcoin makes a move to the upside if you stay above that key level. So if Bitcoin can do that and Bitcoin slowly goes up, a lot of these altcoins will follow. And it is pretty much that simple. So, by the way, I'm also in a trade on BCH with a stop loss at 490, and this looks like it could make a move to 574 if it stays above 490. So that's another trade that I'm in actively right now, and the only active trade that I am in. We'll see what happens. So Des says flow maybe. Let's go look at flow chart. I don't know why it's trying to block people's comments. I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'll just start on the daily for flow, and we'll work our way down. So the daily chart, the weekly chart on flow is oversold, making a higher low. It's likely this can continue to the upside if you hold this. So that's a resistance at $1.70. You are sitting on support at 70 cents. That's a good sign. And I would also say that another resistance upcoming would be a psychological resistance. Well, I guess if it's $1.15, that's not psychological. So $1.15, you can see from back here, was support. So I would say that's resistance. And then one more support to the downside if you break. So really, I see more support around that 38-cent level. If you lose 70 cents, 38 cents is next. But the 3-day chart right now is trying to get the bounce. That's a good sign. The 2-day chart right now for flow is trying to get that bounce off support at 70 cents. And the daily is getting the bounce. That might make a lower high, though, because it's getting overbought pretty quickly. I would just be cautious that it could make a lower high on the daily. But the weekly chart looks really good to me. So it's very likely that the daily makes one more lower high. Then you would like to see a higher low above 70 cents, and then you can take off. So really, look for a breakout if you if you keep, well, a very big breakout would be if you break $1.15. Then you can see a move to $1.70 on flow. If I go to the smaller time frames, we can kind of see, maybe we're trying to make a rounded bottom on like the 12-hour chart. That would be a very bullish sign. I would love to see that. The only worry is the 12-hour chart's overbought, the daily is about to be overbought, and you haven't done much. So really, if this is going to be a rounded bottom, you have to make a higher low above 76 cents. If you don't do that, then it's a lower low and it's all game over. So really, if it does get overbought, you have to make when you get a correction, you have to hold 77 cents, I would say. You prefer to hold like even higher than that, but that's what I'm looking at for flow. The 8-hour chart still is to get above this 200-day moving average, which is at that $1.15 level. So I just watch out for that right now. So, but the 4-hour chart's already curving down, so I don't really like that. So the bullish scenario is that you're making a rounded bottom and you hold the 70-cent support. But if you don't, then maybe the smaller time frames are making a lower high, or a rounded top, I should say. And they kind of are. So I'd just be cautious. Right now it's indecision. I would probably just wait to see what the 12-hour chart does when it resets. If it makes a higher low, then you could buy long. If it makes a lower low, then you could stay out of the trade or short it possibly. But the weekly, nonetheless, still looks very bullish to me. So that's what I'd be looking for. Really, to remain bullish, you have to get back above 98 cents. If you can't do that, then it's likely to go back to this local low down here at 77 cents. It's pretty much that simple. I'll leave it at that. The bullish scenario, if you want to be bullish, you really have to break 98 cents or really $1. If you don't do that, it's likely to revisit these lows. I'll leave it at that. I have not done XRP or XLM. We can go look at XLM. So the weekly chart on XLM, I feel like there's got to be a chart with more data, but maybe not. I guess it has a lot. This is the weekly chart, so it actually has a lot. So I'll just put out the support and resistance levels and go from there. So resistance right now at 20 cents. We're a ways away from that. Support, you're sitting on support right now around that 10-cent level. And then I would also say that there's more resistance right there at 16.2, 16.3 cents on XLM. If you lose 10 cents, it's likely that you do fall to the downside and at least revisit that low at 9 cents. If you lose that, you're looking at 7.2 cents to be the next support. The weekly chart, again, higher low, but what are the smaller time frames doing? 3-day looks good to me. The 2-day looks good to me. The daily, again, kind of like flow, is making a lower high. So you want to see that at least break the 21, but if you can't do that, that's not a good sign on the daily at least. The 6-hour chart is overbought. The 4-hour chart is overbought. They're not curving down yet, but they're probably about to. I love trading the 4-hour chart 200 smooth moving or simple moving average. So that's at 12.6 cents. So if you stay below 12.6, you're still bearish on the 4-hour chart 200 based on the 200-day moving average. So really, I don't think we're really in the clear right now. And as far as I'm concerned, this is a lower high if you get rejected off of 12 cents. So now it's likely you come back and revisit 10.7, 10.8 cents on XLM, and it's really likely you probably even see 9 cents if you can't get above or make a higher high. And the higher high would be anything above 13.7. So if you stay below 13.7 and you can't get above that, then it's likely you do make a lower low here. We'll see what happens, but XLM, again, kind of like flow, doesn't look great to me. We'll see what happens. So do you want me to do XRP as well? But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now on XLM. Unfortunately, XLM just doesn't look good. Thank you for the 300, 400 likes. Appreciate it. Let's go look at XRP. So XRP, probably my guess, looks pretty similar to XLM, but we'll see. So the weekly chart on XRP, actually it has even more downside than XLM on the weekly. I'm not so sure I'd worry about that. The 3-day looks like it's aggressively moving up on those stochastics. That's a good sign. You're getting the bounce off support at 47 cents. The 2-day chart right now, again, looks good. And the daily chart, although the daily, just like flow and XLM, looks bearish, making a lower high. So it's likely these altcoins are going to make one more lower high in the daily, then you would hope for a higher low when you get correction back down. So if you start to get a move to the downside here, I would look for XRP to hold the support at 47 cents. If you don't do that, that is a very bad sign, and then it's likely you would make a lower low below 43 cents. So that's just what I will do. I'll make that support. So 47 and 43 cents are support on XRP. To the upside, if you want to break out, I don't know what that green line is doing there. Your next macro resistance on XRP is 66 cents. If you break that, that's a good sign. Then you can look for 73 cents. But for right now, if you don't make a higher high above 65 cents, that's a lower low, a lower high, I should say, and then you can look for more downside and probably a lower low on XRP. So if you don't break 65 cents, it's likely that you're going to roll over here and get a move back to the 48 cent level, or 47 cent level, I should say, and then back to the 43 cent level. So XRP has to break 65 cents to remain bullish, and I mean, the smaller time frames are not suggesting it's going to do that. So to me right now, XRP doesn't look great. If we look at the 12-hour chart, that's overbought. The 8-hour chart's overbought. The 6-hour chart's overbought. 4-hour chart is overbought, curving down. So it's very likely that you just got rejected off the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour at 57. And now, I would even say this: if you don't break 57 cents, which is now a local high there, it's likely you're going to come down and revisit the support at 47. And really, if you don't break 57 cents, it's pretty likely you actually make a lower low. So it's likely this is an okay short, not financial advice here, but it's likely this is a good time to short XRP, possibly down to a 47 or even 43 cents. We'll see what happens, but I would not be long on these assets right now. It's kind of a wait-and-see game. Dan suggests that we look at Cardano. I will look at that really quickly. So Cardano on the weekly time frame is trying to hold support at 32 cents. The weekly is oversold. That's a good sign. The 3-day is curving up. The 2-day is curving up. And the daily is overbought, making a lower high, just like the last 3 coins we looked at. So really, if you don't break 63 cents, 64 cents really on Cardano, it's likely that you're going to keep rolling over here. And this is just another lower high, what you're making right now. So it's likely that you're making a lower high here, and you're going to make a lower low below 40 cents on Cardano. So I just be cautious here. Again, if anything, this looks like more of a short than anything. But if you don't want to short, then I would just sit on your hands and just wait, because the 8-hour chart's overbought on Cardano. The 6 hours, same thing, and the 4-hour, just like the last few coins we looked at, is rolling over. So that could make a higher low though here. We'll see what happens, but I don't really like where the daily is sitting on Cardano. But the weekly I do like. So if you just looked at the weekly alone, this is probably an okay time to buy. But you have resistance at 63 cents and you have support at 40 cents. So if you don't get to 63 cents, it's likely you make a lower low below 40. We'll see what happens. But to me, Cardano is kind of a wait and see, and it's kind of in no man's land right now in Cardano. So you're between both resistance and support, and to me, I wouldn't be doing any kind of trading on this right now, at least not on the higher time frames. So that is kind of just what I would be looking at. And let's go look at Miro. This is on MEXC. Miro, we'll start on the weekly, and then we'll go down from there. Well, the weekly has no days, so I won't talk about the weekly. The 3 days oversold, the 2 days oversold, the daily is again making a lower high. So your last high on the daily was all the way at 37 cents. Clearly, we're below 37 cents on Miro. So a lot of these altcoins just look bearish to me overall. And if you don't, you already had resistance there, so delete that. Really, 20 cents is resistance. As long as you stay below 20 cents, it's likely Miro gets a rejection to the downside. And you've also made a local low there at 10 cents, basically. So if you don't break 20 cents, you're coming back down to revisit this support at 10 cents. Based on the fact that the daily is making a lower high, it's likely that does happen, but we'll see what happens on that time frame. So I don't like where Miro's at either. And to me, this looks like another wait and see, because you're both between support and resistance. But if I had to make the guess based on this and based on the other charts, it's likely that these cryptos do go to the downside. The 4-hour chart is, the 4-hour chart looks actually decent to you. The 4-hour chart on Miro, let me just look at this actually. 4-hour chart actually looks good. The other coins didn't look good on the 4-hour, but this does actually look okay on the 4-hour chart. And the 4-hour chart, this is the bull pennant on the 4-hour chart, and that says you could get above 23 cents, up to 23.2. If you did that, you'd be breaking resistance, and that'd be a good sign. So the 4-hour chart could save the day on Miro. This actually doesn't look horrible right now. You could put a stop loss at like 17 cents. If you put a stop loss around 17 cents with the take profit at 23, that's not a bad trade overall in my opinion, because you're at 17.5 right now. Miro actually doesn't look horrible, at least on the 4-hour chart. Thank you for the follow. So anyways, that's what I'm looking at on Myro. So with that being said, guys, that's kind of all I got. I'll be back live Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week. And do know that we do have a Telegram, which is free to join, so do check that out. And I appreciate all the love I can get on the TikTok videos, because I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure I'm shadow banned, so I do appreciate the support I can get on that. But yeah. So that's kind of what FitFi. So FitFi and the weekly is oversold. The 3 days daily is making a lower high though. It's just, I mean, it's pretty simple. If you just look at the daily on any of these coins, it's pretty obvious what's happening. You have to get it back above 8.7 to remain bullish. If not, it's over. And it's likely if you don't break 8.7, you're going back to 4.7. Let me just look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is kind of like Myro, trying to look a little bit bullish here. But can the 4-hour chart save the day? That's the question. If it can, that will get you above resistance. The measure move is to 1.2, or just above just above 10 cents. So that's about a 30% move up. But I would just be very cautious right now in the crypto market. But that's kind of what you're looking at. You're looking for the 4-hour chart to save the day. I would pretty much say if you lose 7.8 or even 7.7, it's likely that Myro or that FitFi is going to take a tumble back to the 6.3 level. So, you know, you could go long with a stop at 7.7 and you'd probably be okay if it does play out. If it doesn't play out, well, then you're out of the trade before it dumps. So with that being said, I'm going to end it now. I'll see you guys in the next live stream, Saturday, 11 p.m. Central Time. Until then, trade safe. Have a great week. Appreciate if you hit the follow button, because I do need the support right now. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, throughout this week, I'll be posting videos to my TikTok channel and to my Discord channel. So make sure you're checking all those out to stay up to date on what's going on in crypto. I'll see you guys this weekend for our next live stream.